So I'm just going to show you today a couple of ways to prepare your Pro expanders, because everybody does it a little bit differently, and that there doesn't need to be necessarily a right and a wrong way. The two ways I do this here both work really well. I think probably my go-to way, got myself a nice little clip-lock tub here. Fantastic, doesn't it? All right, just a little one. And I always do my just like 6 and 4s together. So I've got a beautiful bag of Pro expanders here, 6 mils. This is looking great there on the front of them. So put a few in there. I always like to think to myself, I mean, you don't need loads here. I mean, I put like a couple of 100 in there, so think I'll have a great day. That'll be how it is. And a few 4 mils in together, get them in together like that. This is why I like this so much. Now, if you want to add anything to it, this is the time to do it. I've got a few bits here, like liquid flavours, bits like that I just tend to carry with me. But this is what I use for, I love the haze. Don't ask me why, it just works really well. It's nice and yellow. So I always just put a great big squirt of that in. Whoa, I'm getting there. It's really sweet, which I like, and it goes really yellow, so it's perfect. And I know that when it's with the water, it'll go into the expanders. So what you need to make sure is you need to make sure your expanders are covered completely. All right, what you can't have is them blowing up and being out of the water. So you can't ruin Pro expanders. So I tend to like go for, there we go, look, like well covered expanders. That's the perfect one for me. Put the lid on like so, give it a shake. You can see the yellow, look. Ooh, yellow. So very yellow, very Scopexy, which I love on my expanders, because obviously, as we know, when the expanders blow up, they end up being lighter in colour. They're not as dark as they are here, so they're like a yellow, sort of like a mid colour, and I just love that. I think it's like a real target bait on the bottom. So look, just like that, make sure they're all covered. You need to make sure the water is well over them. If you're in doubt, put some more water in. Don't end up with not enough water in there. So I'll put a bit more in there, and that's perfect. And then literally, I do that the night before. You've got to do Pro expanders the night before. So once you've done that, go onto the fridge and just pop them in the fridge here. Put them in the bait fridge down here. Just pop them in. That's it. In there. All you need to do, dead easy. Now, some people like to do their pellets in a bag, and the benefits of doing your pellet in a bag is that the pellet can't overexpand. It's almost like limited to where it can go. Now, Pro expanders are so good, and the way the pellet is done, they don't ruin, they don't blow up, they don't fall to pieces. So I just do them like that, I've shown you. But if you're using a non-Pro expander, I don't know what you would, but let's say you would, or if you just want a little bit of a denser pellet, something that maybe you could cast out perhaps, this is what you want to be doing. Now, when I do this, I don't mix two sizes. I literally just do one size of pellet. So, got a hole in the side of this bag. Let's put some 4 mils in here. All right, now, what you need to do when you have the pellets is you need to keep them in the bottom of a bag. I mean, you see there's enough in there for about 10 people. All right, pour your water in. If you wanted to put your flavour in, then you would obviously do it now, shake it about. Now, as you can see, there's far too much water in that bag, all right? What I want to do is make sure the pellets have all got enough water. So I always like overfill the bag, if you like, to start with, okay? So you can see there's like definitely loads of water. You can see the Pro expander sinking rather than floating. Obviously, like an odd one there that looks like it's floating, but 99.9% sinking, all right, as you would expect. But what I want to make sure is just that initial soak is there. And then what I do is like almost hold the bag back up and tip the water back out of the bag, all right? Because what I want to do is I don't want any excess water in the bag. So I'm just squeezing down on the bag like that until I get to the point where those pellets are tight in the corner, like so, but all completely submerged in water. And then literally just twist the bag like this. And I was doing expanders like this. Been doing it like this for probably about 20 years. Literally when I was at university, I remember doing this. And that is how you stop your expanders over expanding. So effectively now what I want to do is tie a knot in that bag. So literally I keep twisting it so I've got lots and lots to play with. And then tie a knot in the bag So it's right down. A little sandwich bag is probably more ideal than one of these bigger bags that I've grabbed today, but you can see in these bags nicely, so it's good for the demo. Look, and then just tie the knot like down onto the pellets like that. So that is nice and tight. They can't overexpand. And what happens is as they blow up, they've got no space, so they don't blow up too much and become, they just are almost like a tight pellet. Now, because Pro Expanders sink, that means you haven't got to squeeze them in water, you haven't got to do anything. Literally, just empty them into a bait tub when you get on the bank and you can hook them, and they'll probably even be castable. That's how nice and tough they'll be in that form like that. That's great if you're fishing, let's say, deep water, shipping out a long way, getting lots of bites, you don't want your pellet to come off. That's a brilliant way of preparing your pellets. So you've got two options there. You've got the simple tub method, which I've shown you. I'm going to pop this in the fridge and I will have 2 lots of pellets in different ways if I want to. Choose what's best for you. That's how easy it is to prepare some Pro Expanders.